Coming up on Mountain News at 6, Middlesboro police are investigating after a 17-month-old reportedly died from severe abuse. And a new surge of COVID-19 cases. So look at the increase as doctors look toward a new push to get people vaccinated.
And we're keeping the sunshine around for now, though I'm tracking when the mercury makes another run into the 90s coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
The Middlesboro Police Department is working to find out what happened to a toddler who died after reportedly being abused. The toddler died this morning at Children's Hospital in Knoxville after being flown there from Middlesboro ARH. WYMT's Madison Carmouche.
A 17-month-old toddler is now dead after severe abuse. Her mother, Erica Lawson, is now in police custody for her death.
The current charges against the mother, though, are manslaughter in the second degree, failure to report physical abuse, I believe wanton endangerment charge, but the manslaughter in the second degree being the most severe at this time.
Middlesboro Police Department is currently investigating the details of the case, but do not have much to share at this time.
I would say that, again, this is an ongoing investigation that we're taking very seriously. We're working day and night on the investigation, and we're exploring every avenue and possibility of what could possibly happen to the child.
The Bell County Commonwealth Attorney advises people of the community to say something if they see something.
If a child is abused, report it. Don't withhold it, don't go on, report it. Call someone, do something, because this could very well be a different outcome had that been the case.
While officials are still working to find out exactly what happened to the child, they say there is currently no threat to the public.
However, this is not something that we take lightly. It's not something that I see every day. And because of the severity of the case itself, we are working as hard as we can.
Middlesboro Police Chief P.D. Gilbert says that a family member called concerned about the child's well-being, but they were never able to locate the child. In Middlesboro, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
Madison, thank you. We are told there will be a vigil for the toddler tomorrow at 7 p.m. led by Reverend Steve Temple in the Middlesboro City parking lot. CASA of the Appalachian Mountains, an organization dedicated to advocating and protecting abused children, is in need of more volunteers. Kayla Bryant is the CASA volunteer coordinator and says they are looking for more volunteers as there are children still on a waiting list. She says volunteers make a big difference in not only the case, but in the child's life.
Volunteers are very essential. They pretty much are this program. We are nothing without our volunteers. They're the ones that take these cases and they go out to the homes, and they're the ones that make the recommendations to the court on what these kids need. They meet them where they are, and they're their voice.
She says volunteers can only take one case at a time and will need to serve the length of the case or up until 1 year. For more information on how to become a volunteer, you can go to WYMT.com. A Richmond man is accused of killing 2 people this past weekend. Police say Stefan Baskerville shot Michaela Walker and Warren Bowman. Richmond police say they responded to a call about a shooting on Foxhaven Drive Saturday night, and they say that's where they found Bowman and Walker with gunshot wounds.
Unfortunately, we had 2 people that lost their lives, and their families and their friends and everybody else that they know is part of our community.
Police say the incident stemmed from a domestic dispute between Walker and Baskerville. Police say Baskerville ran from the scene, but they eventually found him hours later. He's been charged with 2 counts of murder and tampering with evidence. A Lexington man is accused of assaulting his 9-month-old child. Saeed Malik Kawan Epps made his first court appearance this afternoon. Lexington police say they were called to Whitney Avenue for a welfare check last week after 9-month-old Sakia Epps was brought to the hospital with life-threatening injuries and later died. Amanda's Center, located in the Fayette County District Courthouse, serves as a safe place and guide to anyone dealing with domestic trauma.
We are here to listen to you. We believe what you're saying. We're here for you. And we are willing to do whatever we can to help you feel safe.
Epps pleaded not guilty to a murder domestic violence charge. He's due back in court for a preliminary hearing Thursday morning. His bond is set at $1 million. If released, he cannot have any contact with the victim's family. One woman is recovering at a hospital following a shooting late last week in Bell County. When police arrived, they discovered the suspect, 33-year-old Charles David Cross of Pineville, trying to hurt himself with a gun when the victim, Brianna Hoskins, tried to stop him. During the struggle for the gun, it went off, shooting her in the cheek and neck. Cross is charged with assault and 2 counts of wanton endangerment. He was taken to the Bell County Detention Center. A body was found near the Virgie community of Pike County during the weekend. State police say a call came into Post 9 just before 6:30 p.m. yesterday, during which the caller said a man was found and that he may be dead. Troopers responded to the call and found 37-year-old Nathan Warricks of Robinson Creek in a stream near the highway in Jonancy. The cause of death is not known at this time. Anyone with information is asked to call KSP Post 9 in Pikeville at 606-433-7711. State police also investigating after first responders confirmed human remains were found in a creek in Pike County last weekend. Pike County Coroner Kevin Hall says a skull was found by people fishing in the water near Elkhorn City Elementary School. KSP verified the human skeletal remains were found in a stream near Cougar Drive. Anyone with information about the possible identity of the human remains can call Post 9 at 606-433-7711. One sheriff's department is asking for your help finding a stolen side-by-side. The Bell County Sheriff's Office received a call of a Polaris RZR that was stolen last week. In a Facebook post, officials said the owner walked outside of his home Friday morning to find it was missing. If you have any information about this, you can call the Sheriff's Office at 606-337-3102. One Eastern Kentucky Sheriff's Office has received reports of a scammer calling the public asking for money. A recent post on the Martin County Sheriff's Office Facebook page says someone has been calling around the community asking for donations for the office. The Sheriff's Office is not asking for money and say this is a scam. If you received a call about making a donation, you can call the Sheriff's Office to report it at 606-298-2828.
Been a nice day region-wide, but we are keeping an eye on a couple of downpours that have developed out there in some locations. Pikeville being one of the locations those downpours in proximity to. Sunshine breaking back out now. They're 80 degrees from the view from our Pikeville Medical Center camera as we watch those clouds work through. Upper 70s. Jackson's at 78, Hazard at 79. We're closer to the low to mid 80s as you head into the Cumberland Valley. They've been consistently warmer. Notice Wise, though, 73. Pikeville at 80. They're a little cooler thanks to the showers they've seen. We got one just south of Grundy, Virginia right now, and another right on the Wise County, Letcher County line there south of Jenkins, not far from Eola. That's going to continue to scoot to the south toward Wise and Norton over the next little bit. So folks maybe in Pound and Appalachia, you're going to run into some showers here over the next little bit. You see this little outflow boundary, this little green line now south of Hazard, working toward Cutchin and eventually over into southern parts of Letcher County and into Harlan County. That's a outflow boundary. It's a miniature cold front that could spark a few more downpours. You see one just there north and east of Harlan. They won't last all night. They'll start to fall apart. We're back to clear skies overnight. Look at these lows, upper 50s out there. We're going to have to dodge some patchy fog, I think, in the morning. Steve, we're also going to have to dodge some warmer temperatures, though you can't really dodge those as we head through the next little bit. The details on that in a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. One Eastern Kentucky school is in the process of being remodeled after the flood, and they have a new principal now. Jennifer Sebastian Day has been named the new principal at Buckhorn School in Perry County. Day started her career at Buckhorn 19 years ago. She says she's excited to take the next step in her career at Buckhorn. She's taking over for Tim Wooten, who resigned back on July 17th. Kentucky Department of Education Commissioner Jason Glass is resigning. His 4-year contract was set to expire in September of next year. Instead, Glass will be leaving his current position on this September 29th. He was appointed KDE Commissioner back in 2020. His next job will be the Associate Vice President of Teaching and Learning at Western Michigan University. Glass began his career as a teacher at Hazard High School. Summer illnesses come in waves, and the U.S. is dealing with a new surge of COVID-19 cases. However, it's not nearly as intense as what hospitals dealt with a few summers ago. Kelsey Soto talks with Lexington health officials about what they're seeing.
Respiratory issues, coughing, doctors say it's all still worth getting tested so you know what you're dealing with and to hopefully prevent the spread to others. With a new school year on the horizon and a new round of COVID-19 vaccines coming in the fall, health leaders say it's a good idea to add another layer of protection.
Even if it's not out until September, you still have October, November, December, January, February, where these children are in school and then staying inside, doing inside activities with other children. Those colder months, and it can definitely spike the spread then during those times.
The risk still remains for the vulnerable population, like the elderly and those who are immunocompromised.
The people that are actually, sort of being left behind right now are the transplant patients and the patients who can't respond to vaccination or natural infection. We're trying to address that in a couple of ways.
Dr. Doherty says soon a study will be conducted to find alternative methods of prevention and treatment, especially since the virus has adapted and no longer responds to monoclonal antibodies.
We're getting ready to start a study in a couple of weeks looking called the Supernova trial, looking at a new monoclonal antibody that we hope will be effective for those patients.
The FDA and CDC are hoping to transition toward a flu-like model for COVID vaccines, meaning people will get one shot each year that's updated annually to target the latest variant. In Lexington, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.
Well, coming up, comfortable air continues as we head through the midweek when showers and heat could move back in as well. Coming up, plus.
A new thrift store in Pike County has its paws on the pulse of animal rescue.